Well, happy winter, everybody. This is Beet Farmin Mitch. I'm a family farmer up in the Red River Valley of North Dakota. Common question I get asked is, do you guys grow potatoes? Pretty much my family grows everything except for potatoes, but there's a lot of potatoes in the area. So today we're checking out a state-of-the-art potato warehouse slash cleaning slash sorting facility. I guess it's quite a state-of-the-art technological spectacle, so we're gonna go check that out. Welcome to the Red River Valley of North Dakota. A land flowing with milk and honey. You're watching Beet Farmin Mitch. So my brother Jason and I, we got invited to go scope this out. This is another family farm in the area and he really wanted us to see it. Hey, good to see ya.
Nice to meet you. Hey, I'm Seth. Welcome. Glad you're here.
What do you all do at this facility?
We wash and pack all our spuds and then ship them out to their destinations: Grand Forks, Florida, Texas. I mean, yeah, you name it, we ship it. This side of the building is all our number ones. Packaged 1As are up there, and then the 1Bs back here, and then all our 2s are over there. So basically it's a byproduct of the number one.
So you grow all red potatoes?
All dark reds, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd like to get into yellows or something else, but we only have one big bin, so we can't mix everything, or it'd be a problem. The grader can actually sort through yellows and reds, but I think it'd be pretty messy. So these are number 1A, so basically it's the highest, best quality of potato you can buy. Usually the most expensive, no blemishes, the color is beautiful. I mean, you name it, they look the best. So, and then
these are like one step down,
so
probably.
Nope. So this is 1A, and that's a size. So the A, B, C, that determines your size. So an A is your big one, the B is a little smaller, and then a C, which are those ones, are a little smaller yet. So I mean, the C is that big, and then B's are about that big. So. And then the numbers just represent, like I said, the quality.
Okay.
The higher the number, the better the quality, in the sense of like 1, 2.
So we're gonna start at the beginning of the line and work our way back. Ed, if you haven't noticed, my sweatshirt says Got Beets. Check out the merch shop in the description. I also got ones that say Got Spuds for my potato farming friends out there. So, question. Where are those potatoes going?
So those are the calls. Basically the rejects, sunburn or growth crack, or something is really wrong with them.
Yeah.
We can't sell them to the public, so they go out to the cattle, and the cattle eat them, and then we have steak. So this, when we started, literally all the way to the ceiling, all the way down was full.
So this is how you get your potatoes over
they're literally flowing. You can see them right there. You can see them bobbing.
So the potatoes are going in this flume to the other facility.
You just spray with water and then they fall in. This little floor is close. See where the crack is there? The floor is angled this way and this way. So you don't want to be dragging on them or pulling them. No, you don't want to bruise them or nothing. So if you use a lot of water, they'll float their way right on in, and everything is on grade. So everything is sloped to that center flume. You can kind of see it in the bin if you look. You can see that it slopes up.
Oh yeah.
So everything's
Yeah,
on grade.
I see that.
Yep. This is 500 acres. So
okay.
500 acres will fill this thing on a good year. Normally you don't get that much, but this last year we were very fortunate and had a good crop. So.
Yeah. So that's like door to door.
Door to door.
Yeah.
500 acres, and you're max.
So then you got all these culvert looking things for temperature control?
Yep, so this is called a plenum up here. There's 2 big fans on this end with basically a waterfall that drips down, and the fans blow through the waterfall, and it pumps 100% humidity air through these tubes, which in turn go through the potatoes all winter long. Yeah. So, and then on the other end there's one fan. So there's 2 separate systems kind of meet in the middle to keep this bin all year, all winter. It's 38 degrees. And 100% humidity.
Yep.
So what's the point of, why do you want it so high humidity?
Then they don't pressure bruise. So potatoes, they'll pressure bruise easy if you dry them out. So it'll literally make your skin wrinkly like you're old. So if you pump humidity through them, it keeps them moist, and and they'll last a lot longer in the bin. So before this came out, I mean, you washed as fast as you could because, you know, you knew you were going to get pressure bruising, but we're into March now, and I mean, we see a little bit, but it's such a wonderful system, you know, that they came out with. It's been really good. It's a totally different game when you start getting into like seed potatoes and stuff like that, where you just scoop them out. Right. Like when we dig, we can't beat them up even the slightest bit, or we're in big trouble. A lot of water. Our water bill is pretty high.
Yeah, I believe it.
Darn high. I would have guessed. So then when they go through the actual wash bay itself, then they get blasted with pressure.
So that plume goes underground to this building. So this is straight out of a potato warehouse, which that's where they store them after harvest until they're ready to clean them and bag them.
That's where the potatoes soak. And as they go up, they go into the polisher. It's called a polisher, but it's basically it's a scrubber, you know. It's a brush scrubber, it scrubs them. And they come out the belt, and then after the belt, they go onto the dryer. So it's a sponge dryer, like a sponge in your kitchen, same thing, it just pats them dry. Because the grater wants them to be just a little wet, then it sees everything a little better, so. And then after the dryer, they get sized, big and small, because the grater has big cups on one side and then small cups. So we have to resize it a little bit.
Soak tank, polisher, there's a dryer. So this is after they've been soaked and polished, and now they're going through the dryer. And potatoes grow underground, so of course they have a little bit of dirt on them, but these look really clean here. And you can see some of them have blemishes, like that one kind of has a crack, and there's some chips, but those get sorted out down the line. I got 3 kids on my belt already.
I got a second one on the way.
Hey,
so.
congrats!
Thank you.
Congrats!
Thank you.
So this is the dryer, you said?
Yeah, so you can see them 4 angle irons, so there's long bristle rollers on that. And the bristles will take some of the water, and then they'll hit the angle iron and kind of, you know, get rid of the water. Yep. And then they go to the sponges.
Okay.
And so then they, you know, get sponged off. And then there's a roller underneath that actually squeezes the sponge as well. You know, like you were to squeeze in your kitchen, same thing.
Yep.
So squeeze it all the time too.
Yep.
That's all the dryer they need them. So after they come off the dryer, they get put on we call it the sizer. It's a spool roller that gets wider as it goes this way. So the small ones fall first, and then the big ones fall later. And it does that because the grater has different size cups on it. So it pre-sizes, goes up the spreader table, and then it hits the belts. And these belts basically put it in line. So if they're 2 side by side, it'll get them right in line to hop on the grater. These are one size and those are another size.
Okay. So these are more like the A
these
size?
Are A's, yep. And then those would be, you can put an A on those cups, but they're more the B and C size.
Yeah.
But the grater itself actually sizes it too. Yeah. So when it goes through and takes a picture, it knows how far it is away from the potato, and it measures the potato symmetrically. And so it, you know, categorizes it based on its size.
So this machine kind of just does an initial rough sort.
Exactly.
So this is your fancy sorting machine here?
Yeah, this is where it takes pictures of the potatoes. It takes 95 of every potato. Okay. And it determines what to do with it based on the parameters that we have put in our system. So there's 2 side cameras to get, you know, obviously left and a right. And then there's one up top. And then as it goes through, the potatoes are spinning backwards. And it's snapping pictures on the side and on the top as they go through. And then it goes through like a series of basically questions like, okay, is it a call? Because that's the first drop, we'll call it. You know, if it's not a call, it passes that test. Is it a 2? And if it's not, you know, then it's a 1. And then it knows, you know, where to put them based on its size too. So, and all that we can change in the computer. Like if we wanted a few more, you know, B's or something, you could change your size profiles a little bit to help. Yeah, it's all variable. This is where all the magic happens.
So tell us how you picked this machine or decided to go with this one. Looks like Italy brand?
Yep, this came from Italy. My brother, dad, and I, we all flew down to Washington a couple years ago, and we watched every 3 or 4 different graders, and so I guess we wanted to see firsthand what was best for our operation, and this one seemed to be maybe a little bit ahead on the technology side.
So you mentioned earlier about some AI technology within
Yes.
the potato sorting industry coming out. So this one does not have that.
Right now it doesn't. Yep, we haven't put it on yet. We're waiting until the technology improves because it's pretty new on the potato side of things. Mostly on the reds. You know, I think they've kind of perfected it a little more on the yellows. Reds right now they're a little behind, so I think they're working on getting some improvements there. So we'll wait until they get that.
So what are some of the things that the AI helps with this process?
They say pressure bruising. So pressure bruising is pretty tough to see on a picture anyway on our screens, and it just doesn't pick it super well. So it can see that a little better. It can see growth cracks. So it really doesn't have depth perception right now. So you're kind of doing everything based on a color spectrum. So it gets a little finicky when you're trying to change and adjust for things, because it might pull out something you don't want or whatever. I would say the biggest one is probably growth crack and pressure bruise. That that the AI is really getting better.
So would you call this machine a sorter?
Yes,
Is that what
optical sorter. Optical sorter.
And it takes 95 pictures of each potato.
Every potato.
Crazy.
Yep, and it knows what to do with them.
So this is the where you operate this machine or adjust it to how you want it?
Yeah, this is where we come in, and if we get in a different lot of potatoes, we'll come in and change the grading program, how it grades it. If it's a nice lot, we'll back it down so it's not so harsh, grading so harshly. If it's a tough lot, we'll turn it up and try to pull some more stuff out, and it's endless the possibilities you have with this machine.
So is this kind of your yield data, if you will?
Yep.
How the machine is operating?
Correct, exactly. So, at the end of the year, it totals everything up every day, and how much you've ran through here. It doesn't have a weigh scale, so it kind of knows the weight of everything, and it does get pretty close at the end of the year to your final number that you actually packed out and shipped out. Yeah. But overall, yeah, you could use this as statistics for basically what you got out of your crop. And
because this is like showing you your grades of
Correct.
Potatoes and how much.
Exactly. Yep. It shows all that.
So what would happen if I hit this button right here?
It's been done before, and I think it might stop the whole line.
So what happens if you have something break down? Are you guys able to kind of fix what you need to for the most part?
Mechanically, my brother and I can take care of most everything. Now if it comes to software or something corrupt on the computer, they can key in from Italy or from Washington, and they can look at our system on the fly and figure out and tell us what's wrong with it.
Have you had any issues with anything?
Honestly, the first 2 years were wonderful. This year we had a battery go down in one of those computers behind you, that stack of computers. We had a battery go down in one of them, but my brother was able to pull it apart and throw a battery in. So basically the battery just lets it reboot every day. It's kind of an overnight thing.
Right.
So for a while we just didn't shut it off because the battery was bad, but we've had maybe 3 to 4 of those cups break in 3 years, I'd say.
Yep.
Otherwise, mechanically, it's been wonderful. It automatically oils itself every 8 hours, so it's got auto oiler. We grease it probably a couple times a year. Otherwise, mechanically, it's been phenomenal.
Do you have to use like a special kind of food grade oil for this?
Yes, food grade oil, food grade grease, food grade chain lube. I mean, you name it, it's all food grade, so everything is safe here. And
it's dropping into all these different numbered bins, or I don't know what you refer to this as.
Yep, so we have 11 different drops. Basically, we can send whatever product wherever we want, whatever percent we want. We can, send A's all the way down, close. I mean, if you get an order for boxes, you tell it which place you want it to drop, and it'll do it at the snap of your fingers. Mm-hmm. On the fly, you don't have to stop. You just keep on running, and it'll just do it.
So every cup has a dispensing system.
Every cup has its own little flipper.
Yeah.
And it's all on electric solenoids, so it's timed. So it knows the distance from the camera box to each different drop.
Yeah.
And so it says, if it says it's a number 1A, and on my screens here I have number 1A dropping in 5, kicks it off. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can literally change everything. And then each belt is reversible, so let's just say I wanted to get more equipment, I could, put more equipment here or there, it doesn't matter. I can just send that belt a different direction.
So these are red potatoes. So typically these aren't like the ones you go to McDonald's and you get a French fry. Where do these potatoes go?
A lot of restaurants, I'd say restaurants, and then Hugo's, you know, Publix, stores like that, you'll see them. But restaurants is probably one of the big ones like that boxing will go to.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff goes to Florida, Texas, Massachusetts. Oh boy. I mean, I've sent stuff to Grand Forks. I mean, you basically pick a spot and, you know, they're probably going there. So.
Well, it's tough to beat mashed potatoes when you make them out of red potatoes. They are a special potato.
Yeah, they are.
So where do the rejects get kicked out at?
So they get kicked out first right there.
Okay.
So that's the rejects. If it doesn't know what to do with something, it'll send them all the way down and then it sends it back through, which is this blue belt here, and it'll basically retake pictures of it and try again.
Okay, so if it didn't get good enough pictures or something, it'll send it back through.
It'll
the
send it
machine.
back through, so never wasting.
Yep.
These are all the bad ones, you know, things that we can't. You could eat this, but you can't sell it. Bunch of growth cracks, you know, cut in half potatoes. It does all this by color, and you know, it takes 95 pictures of everyone and spins them as it goes through the box, and it takes 95 pictures, and we told the computer, you know, what we want out and why we want it out. Well, it sees green really well. Color is probably its best attribute, is color side of things.
So I've heard about the green potato thing. If there's sunlight on them?
Yes, it's literally sunburn. Like we were to get sunburn, potatoes get sunburn, and they turn green and we turn red.
Yeah. So why is that a problem for the potatoes?
I think you can eat it. It technically is like poisonous to an extent, you know, if you eat a lot of it. But it's basically not appealing to the eye, what it comes down to, which a lot of this stuff is, you know, not appealing to the eye. If they don't look good, they don't want them. So yeah, we throw a lot more away than we should.
So do you guys ever stop until you're done? Or is it just...
Yeah, if it gets slow, I don't wash ahead. You know, if I have orders, I'll keep washing, but once I kind of get my orders done, I don't.
There's times where you can't go like a break for a while.
I've had a 8 or 10 day break this year already. You know, just nothing came, and in my opinion, you can't beat North Dakota Red River Valley potatoes. You know, they say that the Florida potato tastes more like swamp than it does, you know, potato.
Yeah.
And it's just such a different country down there. And they say Red River Valley dirt must have something in it.
Yeah.
They say it tastes different.
So this is your 5-pound bagger.
Yep. It's it sends potatoes up. It's got a little carousel up top spinning, and it goes over a load cell as it goes around every time. So it'll drop 2 cups that'll equal, you know, 5 pounds or whatever you tell the machine, and then it'll dump it in here. It'll close the bag. They'll send it through the clipper, clip it, and then it'll open a new bag and start again. So it's all automated. You know, this part of it. We still hand stack, you know, the rest, but otherwise this thing does it all. I just keep feeding it potatoes. Did bag up some fresh stuff.
Awesome.
Hey, fresh potatoes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Hey, look at those nice potatoes.
These are the money here.
So what are these 1Cs or what are these ones?
These are creamers. Yeah, we call it C's, creamer, same thing. Yep.
Okay.
And these are
more money per weight, correct?
by far.
Yeah, I think you told me that one.
Not even comparison. Yeah.
Why are they so much more?
Because it takes so much more of them to make a tone.
Yeah.
You know.
And obviously people want it for certain
Yes,
things.
they do. Yeah, a lot of like stew people or soup or something like that. That's where they come in. Like Applebee's and like places like that. You know, they'll buy them in boxes. So they'll buy them in 50-pound boxes, and then they just have them on hand, you know, for whatever they're making.
Yeah.
So for now they get put totes until we can order.
So this is the back of a reefer trailer you're loaded up here.
Yep. Yep, it is.
Do you know where this truck's going at all?
Yes, this one is actually going to Grand Forks.
Okay.
Get packed and sent off to some stores that are close anyway. So this one's not going far. 60 miles is all the further this one has to go.
Okay.
And they usually haul right around 43,000, 44,000 pounds of spuds.
Okay.
Been old baseball. Well, I'll be looking forward to watching your videos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you.
Take care. Congratulations.
Thank you
on your-
very
Thank
much.
you, Seth.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you
That
very
was
much.
fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It's all right. Yep.
You betcha.
Take care.
You as well.
So thanks for watching today. Thanks for tagging along. Don't forget to eat some potatoes, and we'll be back in the field soon. This is Beet Farmin Mitch, and don't forget to keep it sweet.